Hello! So today I'm going to make some guacamole. It's one of my favorite little snacks. I enjoy it just by itself. So I have an avocado here. This one here might be too ripe. I'm not sure if it's actually to the point of going bad. If you know anything about avocados, they go from being not ripe to ripe and then overripe in about a blink of an eye. So to find a nice, perfect, ripe one, you do, of course, want it to be this color. If it's green, then it's not ripe at all. The other way to tell is when you pull this little stem out. If it's like a nice greeny brown in there, then it's good. When you give it a gentle squeeze, it's firm but with a little bit of give to it. This one here, when I squeeze it, there's a bit more than a little bit of give to it. That's why I'm questioning this one. But that's why I have my backup one, because I know this one's good. So I have Epicure's ceramic paring knife. I love this. It stays sharp forever. You don't want to run this through a regular knife sharpener. That will actually ruin it. So one of the things with the ceramic knife is because it's ceramic, it is fragile. So you don't want to throw it in the sink and then throw things in on top of it, because there's a pretty good chance that you'll end up breaking it. It's not meant to cut anything hard or frozen. So no cutting like squash or sweet potatoes or things like that with it. And most definitely no frozen meats or anything, or try cutting into a bone or anything like that. That will break it. But it's great for tomatoes. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, it will glide right through those. Avocados, of course. It's an amazing little knife. So when I pop it open, for the most part, this one's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take the back side of my knife, the dull side, and I'm going to scrape out the good parts and leave the bad parts in. So in doing that, the reason I use the back side is the flesh of the avocado is really, really thin, so you can go through it quite easy and you would end up cutting your hands, and we don't want that. To get the pit out, I don't know if you've heard of avocado thumb, but it's something that you most definitely don't want. So avocado thumb is when someone says do it the professional way, as my family used to say, is where you take the knife and come down like this to get it to go in the pit and then give it a little turn and pull it out. The thing is, when you come down, that's actually quite slippery, so your knife could slip off and then cut right in here, and that's not a good thing to have happen. So just give it a little squeeze and you'll actually see the flesh of the avocado, the meat of the avocado coming up, and then I just take my knife and gently poke that pit out. And once again, I use the back side of my knife, or you could take a spoon. Some people use a spoon. So I'm not going to bother with the second one. It's just me here today, so I'm just going to make this up for myself. If I was using two whole avocados, I would use a whole lime. But where I'm just doing one avocado, I'm only going to use half a lime. So I have Epicure Citrus Press. This thing was a curse for me at first, and now I love it. I use it all the time. My problem was me. I wasn't using it correctly. So it's citrus press. You can use it for limes, lemon, any small citrus. And so what you do is you take the cut side of your citrus and you put it down in. And the reason for that is the holes are on the bottom. So when you give it a squeeze, if there was any seeds in there, it would actually contain it all in here. So what I had been doing was the total opposite. I was putting my cut side up, and then when I was giving it a squeeze, the juice was coming out here, so I tipped it and all the seeds fell in my dish. And yeah, it upset me. So I gave it to my sister, and then she taught me how to use it. So now I have my own. So for Epicure's products, they are all fabulous. They don't contain any fillers or anything artificial. So one thing that I find for people around here in New Brunswick, we're not used to such strong amounts of spice. So according to this recipe, you'd take 2 avocados, 3 tablespoons of seasoning, and a splash of lime juice. So if I'm doing it with 2 avocados, I go 2 avocados, the juice of an entire lime, and I only do 1.5 tablespoons of the guacamole seasoning. I find if I do more than that, for most people, it's far too much. So I only have 1 avocado here, so I'm doing about 3/4 of a tablespoon. And then I just simply take, this is called a meat separator. I also call it my banana masher, my avocado masher, potato masher. You can use it for so many things, making slushies. And I just mash that around, give it a little mix, and then I'll let it set for probably about 5 minutes just to let the flavors mingle, and then I'll enjoy it with some tortilla chips tonight. Hope you enjoyed.